One Armed Wonder Wednesdays. Of course, we're here continuing our journey with Faith as she learned some ballroom dancing with us here at Astaire. And we're on week, I think, 5 of her dancing. So let's see how things have been going. All right, now recently, of course, I haven't seen the video in the past. Faith's been learning dances like the rumba and the swing. And just recently we started with smooth dances. And the one we just started recently was a bit of a trigger for, as Faith will explain. So Faith, go ahead and let us know how you feel about the Foxtrot.
Oh, the Foxtrot.
The Foxtrot.
It makes me shudder a little bit, just because when I did dance club, which is the whole reason why we are doing this vlog series, was because the Foxtrot was, from what I remember, the most challenging of dances, because in that dance the man holds the woman on the side and it's a pretty tight connection. And so my memory is, I have a distinct memory of having to actually put this boy who was a deer in headlights arm right on my side to show how to dance with me, and so and help him overcome his fear of whatever he was going through. So
it's like, what do I do, Mom? I don't know.
So, needless to say, Foxtrot has a lot of weight to it, and so today was a therapy day for me.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
So how did it feel to now approach the Foxtrot and do some Foxtrot with that in your mindset, and doing it now as an adult all these years later?
Now, I mean, of course, who I'm dancing with has this incredible support that you are. Like, I feel very safe and supported, and so that has helped tremendously. And now that I'm aware of what's happening in my body, and I have the tools on how to self-soothe and help reprogram my nervous system, it's been really helpful to write a new story in my mind when I'm dancing.
Good. Well, we hope that, with some time, as she learns more about the Foxtrot, you'll go from one of your least liked dances to maybe your favorite dance.
Oh, well, baby steps.
We'll see.
Baby steps. We'll see.
So Faith, now that you've been here with us for about over a month, of course, we're telling your story as you kind of go from where you started, the experience with a dance club, and now your overall journey from start to finish, which will, as we go through for our big events coming in December and January with Holiday Star Ball and also Dancescape. But you've also had a chance to speak to some of our students, get to know our community a little more, and they have their own stories. So right now we're going to actually have you speak to a gentleman, which you spoke to earlier. We just want to get it on camera and film of him telling his story, and his name is Arrow.
So, Arrow.
Yes.
How long have you been dancing for?
About 2.5 years.
And how often do you dance?
Well, as much as I can. Whenever I'm in town, I come in 3-4 times a week.
So you were telling me earlier that you prioritize dancing even when you're traveling, so much so that if you're in another country or in another state, and there's a Fred Astaire studio nearby, you will go and take classes while you're out of town.
Yes.
What is it about dancing that has you so committed and so devoted to the art?
Before, it's like I didn't realize I knew, but it's allowing myself to express myself emotionally. I was talking earlier and just realized that I was trying to express myself, and I used to keep myself closed off. Being in the military, I was always stern and I always kept all my emotions inside. After talking, I realized that I haven't learned to express myself, and dancing has been allowing me to do that. And the more I do it, it's just like the more I want to do it, and I've just prioritized it because now I want to learn how to move, express myself, in movement and even in facial expressions. So I'm working on it. So it's a work in progress.
And we spoke a bit earlier about how dancing requires you to reconnect with your body.
Yes.
Realizing, oh wow, I can move my hips this way, and I didn't know that I when you were practicing your lift, can you share the story about how with your neck you realized the impact that had?
Yeah, so when I was first doing the lift, I think I was doing okay, but then I started my neck was kind of hurting and my shoulder was kind of sore. And then after practicing it, getting the right technique, now I don't have that soreness. So when you practice over and over, put in the work, and you start doing the right techniques, it actually works out. You're not sore neck. You put your arms out, and it looks better and it moves better, and you don't hurt yourself.
Right, because you lift your partner above your head in this huge platform type of expression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm curious. This question, we didn't talk about this before, but this is something that I've noticed in dancing of how dancing really allows one to experience the dynamics between masculine and feminine polarities, where you have somebody who leads and somebody who follows, essentially.
Yes.
And I'm curious, going through the military, and you shared with me with a bit about your experience growing up. How has dancing, if any, impacted you in stepping into your king or stepping into a greater expression of masculinity?
That's a little question there. It's I don't even know how to answer it. But I mean, as far as masculinity, I got some friends oh, you dance? And then he's I'm like, yeah. But then they're like, ooh, and they don't look at me as much of a man. But then I actually feel like I'm more of a man because I'm like, hey, I'm out there dancing. I'm out there dancing with women, and they look at me as I'm a confident man to go out there to actually know how to move, and then when I move, do a turn, and I can do it confidently, they're like, oh, wow. So I've always got, women will be willing to dance with me because there's my confidence in being able to dance, and it's made me more confident, if anything, because military is you're masculine, something you want to be more dominant, but you don't necessarily have to be dominant. It's just I was told one way, it's not being dominant over a woman. It's saying, I'm asking you if you would allow me to dance with you. And
permission.
Permission. So I'm asking you, hey, would you allow me to dance with you? And you're giving me permission, and then we just go back and forth, and then we're working together.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's very beautiful. One of the things we talked about earlier was that you were in a competition and you were really committed to winning.
Yes.
And just the energetics that we bring into dancing and how that can create a certain result.
Yes.
Do you want to share a bit about?
Yes. I remember it was actually my second competition. I went out there and I was because my first competition I actually placed, and I was like, oh man, I'm doing really good. And then the second one, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do better. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to dominate. I'm going to be like these pros. I'm going to be the first. I'm going to be the first place. And my instructor, Yvette, was telling me, don't have that mindset. And I actually went out there with that mindset because the way I grew up, I was a military family, went to the military, and so I had this dominating attitude about it. Think I'm good, and then I'm going to go out there and dominate. And that was a totally wrong way to do it. And I absolutely got called on it, and it hit me. And I made one mistake, and then I was upset with myself because now I'm not the best, and I was focusing on that, and then it just roller coastered into messing up everything else, and then I was upset. And then afterwards, I was just man, it's everyone else's fault. It's, it wasn't me, it's them. And then I was just after I calmed down, I stopped and said, you know what, it's totally my fault. And I was told not to think that way, and I did. And I look back and I take it as a learning lesson that, I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone out there and danced because I love to dance. And if I went out there with that attitude, then I would have done much better. Not thinking out there dominant. If I loved to dance, then it would have shown in my expression of my dance. And then that would have got me where I wanted to, but I just couldn't figure that out. But now afterwards, I know that I'm not going to go out there with that attitude.
That's beautiful. There's two things that come to mind whenever you share that story. The first is the secret sauce to really excelling in whatever it is that you do is to release resistance, release the attachment, and remember that at the end of the day, it's about being in the state of joy. Because when you're in the state of joy, your soul, your spirit, or whatever animates you can really come to life. And in that instance, if you're competing, you brought in the energetic of war into the place of love, which dancing, I think you could relate to. It's a place where you can really enter into a state of love with yourself and express yourself in that way.
Yeah, that's actually a better way of expressing it, I could say. Yeah, because I feel that because I've, being one way military and stern, and then this is my place to allow my expression out, and then I try to bring that in, and they totally threw it off. And now I don't want that anymore. I got to learn to balance it. Some of that stuff works for me out there, but it doesn't work there. Because I realize that's where I come to have fun. And if I'm not having fun when I'm dancing, then what am I doing it for? Because that's exactly why I do it. Because I love it. It helps me express myself.
Yeah. I've noticed during my dance classes that I love to try to take the lead, or I have resistance to the movement, and so it kind of makes me lock up, and then I also put this pressure on myself to make it look good and make it look right, and I notice that whenever I'm in that mindset, I tend to mess up. I'm a bit more stiff. I have a hard time letting go, entering flow, and enjoying it. And when you're in that flow state, your movements are smoother, your steps are smoother, it goes much more beautifully. So.
And then once you get it, and it's just like you finally learn like the movement, and the steps. You're like, oh, there it is, and it looks like they move, And then I've been told, oh, you're finally starting to look like them. It'll come. It's just practice and continue to do it. They'll tell you all the time, you got to practice 100 times. When I first came in, I saw the instructors doing the basic steps. And I'm like, they're instructors, they already know that. But they're doing the basic steps over and over for like hours. I'm like, they're doing the same step. It looks exactly the same to me, but for them, it's not. It's every little movement, little from here to here. It can be defined in so many ways. And I'm like, now I get it. I'm like, now I know why they were doing that for an hour. Just that one step. It's a lot of work, and the better I get, the more I get into it. And the same with you. If you love it, the better, the more you do it, the more you feel it, and then it starts to just let loose.
Fred Astaire, we love you.
Yes, we do.
All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed that segment with Mr. Arrow and Faith here. And if you enjoyed it, comment below. Let us know. Maybe we'll do more interviews. Because everyone has their story, whether it's Faith's journey right now that we're going on and we're documenting her journey here, or every single student here at our studio or any Fred Astaire around the nation, every student there has their own story, and we hope you at home will come join us someday and start your own story, start your own journey. So if you would like to get started at your local Fred Astaire, you can check out the website, fredastaire.com, or check out some of our social media, listen maybe here, and come in one day, try it out, and see if you like it. And if you want to follow Faith, of course, you can follow her on her social media, which is
The One Arm Wonder, and that is Wonder with 3 R's at the end because I have 3 limbs.
And that's the Instagram.
I'm a terrible promoter for myself. That's my Instagram, and then my YouTube channel is One Arm Wonder.
And you'll see that above or in the next scene as well. So this will be concluding our episode of One Arm Wonder Wednesdays. Make sure you come in, check it out each week, see how we're progressing, see how things are going along. Be sure to stay tuned. At the end of this video, there'll be some clips of Faith dancing and see how things are progressing with the rumba and the swing. And hopefully there's some Foxtrot included in this video somewhere. So until next time, we'll see you later.
You know what else my cat does?
What else does your cat do?
My cat, he'll go up to your nose and he'll go,